We're doing it. Here we go. We should talk. I'm Russell Palmer.
I'm Doug Kunkle.
We're going to do it again.
In the afternoon this time.
Yeah.
We might be awake.
We can make more sense. Not more dollars, just more sense.
Yeah, that's all we make.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of stuff to talk to. Trump has been standing up in front of the crowd at Davos and just railing. It's great. I mean, I'm very proud of him. He's actually being nice about it. He actually said something nice about Gavin Newsom, which you go,
Man,
what?
That's cringy, but
I know.
It's a strategy, and he's used that before.
I think he does it to take away the fangs. You know?
He did. He did when he was there with Mondami. And the press asked Mondami, he's like, do you still think he's a fascist dictator? And Trump's like, yeah, you can go ahead and say it. I'm not offended.
Right.
And it was like, but that just shut him down. He didn't know what to say. It was a very good strategy.
So my contention is that all these places that the Democrats are bitching about every time they can do anything, including, the incursion of the ICE agents, and they hate Trump. They want to do anything that they can to stop his power.
Right. They're against anything he does, right or wrong.
It continues to show. I mean, there are some people. There's a lot of people that are really upset about all of the ICE agents and all that stuff going on. And Mondami is like talking. Mondani. I'm sorry. Oops.
Yeah.
I mispronounced his name. I feel
Kami
so bad.
Mondami.
Yeah. The point of it is that they want to embarrass Trump, and they can't. He's unembarrassable. I don't think you can do anything to embarrass him because he'll go right along with you.
Right.
You know, if you say something really bad, even in front of him, he'll go, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I like how he flipped that guy off at the Ford factory.
I know.
The guy yelled F you at him, and he just flipped him off right back. And
I know.
He got the last laugh. That guy got fired.
So the deal that I'm most fascinated with is the fact that we went into Venezuela, which I think is a great thing. I think it's what we should be doing. Well, no, I'm okay. Well, you can disagree with me. Obviously, that's why.
I don't like invading a sovereign country. I was fine with shooting up the drug boats because those are people operating outside the law, even in that country.
Yeah, but Maduro was the one who invaded the country. He didn't win the election, so all we did was go in and protect the people who, the citizenry of Venezuela, who I think for the most part are probably pretty happy that we're there.
By that logic, Russia or China could have come in here in 2020 and taken over because Biden was not legitimately elected, and he was emplaced by the deep state and the powers that be through cheating.
So are you saying I'm wrong?
No, you've got to be consistent.
I don't think it's consistent. I don't think it's the same thing. We immediately went in and went back out again. We grabbed the jerk.
I definitely don't want to get in a shooting war with Venezuela because I don't think we have any issue with the Venezuelan people.
No, we don't
at all. It's just that what's his face, Maduro, was in there and a complete tyrant.
Maduro is a wine, I think. This is Maduro.
Maduro's a wine?
I think so.
It's even better than Maduro.
I believe it is.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is that we did it. We went in and we very precisely did the activity that we went there to do.
It was impressive that they did that. I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of like going into Pakistan, a sovereign nation, and shooting what's his face, Osama bin Laden in the head. If that's what happened. Because I haven't seen any evidence of that. Just conjecture and hearsay, and this is the official narrative. And that whole story about we buried him at sea as per Muslim tradition. That's not Muslim tradition. Yeah, I don't know if we did or not.
No, it's CIA tradition.
Yeah, it's CIA tradition to cover it up. Yeah, that seemed like it was a cover up.
Yeah,
in some way. So I don't know.
And besides, on top of that, the guy that was given credit for having shot. You just said his name.
Osama
bin Laden. See, I get confused with that and our former president. Anyway, he went in and shot him in the face, and he said, now that I see all the evidence, I think I just shot a guy in the face.
That could be. He better be quiet or he's going to wind up like the rest of SEAL Team 6 in a plane crash.
Well, now he's taking credit for it again, however.
Well, maybe they told him to.
Yeah, I think probably.
Yeah.
I think
because what was it, 15 or 12 or 15 of them soon after that were in a plane crash and were killed. It's like, I think that was some cover-up crap. like all those cops who committed suicide right after January 6th, those were probably going to be whistleblowers
Yeah.
about the whole false flag event.
Yep.
And of course, they blame that on Trump, even though they're probably the ones who killed the cops.
That's
because
right.
they were going to squeal.
Yeah, I think if I were Trump, I would be very nervous about having the CIA around. But,
Oh, my
but
God,
how
no
could he do?
kidding.
He can't do the things that. Of course, maybe he's giving them an e-ticket, an e-coupon to for their best ride ever.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
in
that's
fact.
dating you.
Yeah, I know.
Now you just pay $1,000 per person to get into Disney World and ride whatever.
I know. You'd think
if
that
you can get on.
you'd think that would be enough money to print those tickets, but
So back to Venezuela.
yeah, I think that we got in and got out extremely appropriately.
Well, it was certainly better than a war, like invading, hitting the beaches.
Yeah,
And I think there was talk that some of those sonic weapons were being used, the ones with that have the sound wave that kind of scrambles your brain and makes you feel sick, and it debilitated a bunch of people so they could go in and disarm them. And
President
get
Trump
past.
this morning was referring to that, and he said they took aim. These guys who were protecting the coastline
Right.
took aim at our boats, pulled the trigger, and nothing happened.
Oh, interesting.
And that was something that we caused somehow, some way.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if that was they were just the individuals were incapacitated, their brains were incapacitated, they couldn't remember how to do it, or if they had gotten in and inserted the pin
Hack
back in.
the weapon system.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, if he's saying pulling the trigger, he probably meant more or less on like surface to surface or surface to ship missiles. Not firearms, not individual firearms. So complicated equipment that you can hack. Because remember, the Israelis hacked the Iranian centrifuges,
yeah.
and they just made them spin faster or something like that. So they were destabilized, and they kind of all blew themselves apart eventually.
That's so funny. From our perspective, it's funny.
Yeah, it is pretty
From the
funny.
Iranians'
But
perspective,
it's clever.
yeah.
It's like an amazing way to get in there and sabotage.
There was another interesting point that Trump made that I had never heard. I never knew about this, but he's talking about utilizing the Golden Dome over Greenland, which
Is why we need Greenland.
which he calls, which is just a piece of ice.
yeah. Iceland is green and Greenland is icy.
Right.
Didn't used to be that way.
But his comment was that I lost my point.
Oh,
I just forgot my point.
that we need that real estate because
Oh, he was telling the president of Israel that Golden Dome is our technology, so stop claiming it.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I'd never heard that before.
That's interesting because a lot of times the justification for spending so much money in foreign aid on Israel is that they come up with all this great stuff with research and development. 'Cause they have a lot of smart scientists, and we get to benefit from that. So that's always been, Golden Dome. We couldn't have done it without them. So I don't know if that's true or not.
That may be true. I think there's a lot of working back and forth
Yeah.
across the ocean that the
Yeah.
scientists
And
are able
who
to do.
takes credit?
Right, and whoever uses it first is the one that takes credit.
Probably.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure. So anyway, let's talk about Greenland for a moment. When we okay, let's just go back and talk to President hear from President Trump regarding what's going on in Europe right now.
Certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good, but it's not heading in the right direction. In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Green New Scam. and that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. This was the path that Sleepy Joe Biden administration and many other Western governments very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening.
It's amazing that he said this right to everybody's face without using the word Muslim anywhere.
Yeah,
because that's what he's talking about. He's talking about all the Muslim populations that are moving up into England and France and Holland and probably Denmark and probably Switzerland.
Definitely Denmark and Switzerland. Yeah.
And so that's kind of all these leaders are terrified to do anything that's going to lose them their power. Right. So we would have to classify them as being co-equal with the Democrats. We must be in charge. That's the only possible way that we can get through this is I'm in charge.
Right. Yeah. It's if you can't convince the people in your country who were born here, who are citizens, that your way is the right way, you bring third world people in and totally support them with government handouts, then they're dependent on you and they'll do whatever you want to keep those handouts. And plus you vilify the other side. They want to kick you out. It's like, sure, of course we want to kick them out. They're here illegally. You know, if they come in the correct way and they keep their nose clean, that's great. They're as an American citizen as if your family landed on Plymouth Rock.
Right.
But you gotta be an American. You gotta be loyal to USA. You can't be like what's her face, the crazy politician from Detroit. Well, not Detroit. From Dearborn. Yeah, Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
I mean, she says right out in front, she is representing Somalia, not her constituents.
And that we can prove that.
Yes, because she's actually said it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't think we can have anybody in the federal politics who's got dual citizenship. You have to be loyal to the USA and the USA alone to be, you know, be a politician. Now, if you have dual citizenship as a citizen, that's fine, you know, because you're not ruling over anyone at that point.
Everybody in the squad.
Yeah.
Is representing somebody other than the United States. All of them.
Yeah, AOC, Puerto Rico somewhat, which is quasi-U.S., but not quite.
All I'm saying is that they are absolutely not thinking when they vote that I'm going to do the very best thing to make America strong. That's Trump. And they don't like Trump, so they're going to do the opposite.
Yeah, it's almost like you took all those clucking hens from The View and made them politicians. That's what the frickin' squad is like. Yeah. They're horrible. They don't really know what they're talking about, but they have a strong opinion on it. So Denmark.
Yeah, Denmark. They put in like $4 billion a year into Greenland, and Greenland's happy with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because they have, 50,000 people maybe?
Yeah, $4 billion split up over that. Pretty good. I'm sure they don't have a huge infrastructure to take care of, although the weather is pretty harsh and everything has to be shipped in. But, you know, that's the same for Hawaii for the most part. We do that. Right. Yeah, I mean, they'd never make it without all that spam coming in from the States.
Right.
Their favorite meat. Spam.
Yeah. Trump was referring to it as a piece of melting ice, which is really very true. I mean,
he's going to give credence to the climate alarmists then.
Well, but it is. I mean, look, the entire Arctic is melting. That doesn't mean that the entire world is. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's going to increase the level of the oceans and probably do a lot of good in terms of ocean life. You know?
Yeah, it's not melting that fast. In fact,
but overall,
the ice sheets are getting bigger in the Antarctic.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
right.
It's just the way things are changing. I mean, there's currently undergoing a shift in the pole. And that's why we saw the Northern Lights down in Florida this year as part of it.
Isn't that wild?
And it's they're going to cause a lot of solar radiation damage because the Van Allen belts are going to be compromised as we're going through this shift. It's starting to go pretty fast. And this has happened many, many times throughout geologic history. And if you look at like the Mid-Atlantic Rift, where the tectonic plates are splitting apart, there'll be the minerals that are magnetic, like magnetite. It sets up pointing toward magnetic north, and sometimes it's south. So there's these bands on either side, the north, south, because there's been throughout history many occurrences of this change, and it's going to be possibly catastrophic for electronics and for
really?
us. Oh yeah.
My stereo's not going to work anymore?
Well, you won't be around to know it because we're gonna.
Oh, really? Okay.
We're all going to get fried when the Van Allen belts are compromised.
So it's not just electronics we have to worry
solar
about.
Radiation's going to come through unimpeded and fry everyone, for the most part. It's going to be cool. You're going to have SPF 1 million sunscreen on.
So Trump, going back to Trump's viewpoint about, well, Denmark, but all of NATO, this is really, I mean, if we named this a NATO country, then everybody would be obligated to take care of it. But in fact, that is what's going to happen.
Right.
It gives us the ability to help all of NATO much better because we have much more direct striking range.
Right.
For China and for Russia.
Yeah, especially
it makes
for
us
Russia.
much closer as you look from the top.
I think most people who haven't looked at a globe, if they just look at a flat map, they envision if Russia fires missiles, they're going to be coming in from the west or the east or something,
Right.
And they're just going to fire them across the North Pole. That's by far the closest. And anyone who's done international travel like that knows you fly over the pole to get to that part of the world. You don't go east or west. You fly north.
Right.
Fly over. And so that's why it's so critical to have Greenland as, under our control to some extent.
I'm
not sure what it's going to look like.
I was amazed when I flew over Greenland that it wasn't green at all. It was orange in the middle of the night. It was spectacular. It was
That.
huge.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
huge.
Not as big as you see on the flat maps, because
No.
The closer you get to the poles, everything gets expanded because it gets projected.
I was coming home probably from England on that flight, and it was in the middle of the night, and you just look down, and it's everything at a certain point. It's everything that you can see.
Right. I'll
Anyway.
bet it was. So yeah, it'd be great to be involved in that, and I hope that if we do purchase Greenland, we are better to the native population there, because there's a bunch of indigenous people there who have been complaining that Denmark's been treating them very poorly, forced sterilizations and things like that. And
Why would they do that? Just to keep the population down?
yeah, because they, it's like you said, they have to $4 billion a year supporting these people because there's not that much to do there, and they're basically on the dole.
So you're saying that they just have sex all the time?
Probably. Well, what else would you do?
Watch TV? I don't
Yeah.
know.
We need to ship video games up there. Keep them busy.
That is forced
But
sterilization.
it's been pretty tough, and I've been trying to look at both sides of this, but hopefully we can find something for them to do, because there's nothing worse than not having a purpose. And if you have nothing to do, you don't have a purpose, and so it leads to those deaths of despair where people get hooked on drugs and get suicidal and things like and alcoholism. And hopefully we can turn that around.
So the Donald has been using tariffs to persuade those
Right.
those NATO countries, those European countries, that they really should come around and just see it our way,
Yeah.
and that everybody's going to be better off if Iceland is under the control of the United States.
Or Greenland.
I'm sorry, right? Of course,
We're leaving Iceland alone.
we already have that, don't we?
No.
Who-
Iceland is, I think it's its own country. I don't think it's a protectorate like Greenland is under the Kingdom of Denmark
Okay,
currently.
I don't know that. I guess I better look it up.
Capital of Reykjavik, Iceland, and I think they're their own separate nation.
I think somehow we are the protector of
Really?
it. However,
Oh, we would be the protector for sure, because they're
not a force.
They're basically a Western nation, a democracy, and we would
Right.
protect them.
right. Anyway, Keir Starmer was complaining.
Use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
I liked him much better when he was Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's just
Was he
awful.
Dane Edna
Yeah,
or Dame Edna?
Yeah, Dame Edna.
He's
Could have been.
terrible.
This guy is such a creep. I mean, I would try to talk King Charles into bringing back the axe,
Oh
If
yeah,
I,
the Tower of London.
the
and
Tower of London. This is a
drawing-
terrible man.
Yeah, he is terrible.
He's the guy that will put you in jail because you thought something that he didn't like.
Right. But if you're part of a Muslim grooming gang raping children, totally fine.
Yep.
Just don't talk bad about those people.
Right.
Or don't silently pray in front of an abortion clinic. Ma'am, are you praying? Yes, silently in my head. Okay, you're under arrest. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Thought
And the
crimes.
fact that the British, now the British do not vote for the prime minister. They vote for the party, and then the party votes and places the prime minister. And this is a terrible man, a terrible choice, and I can't imagine that they're going to win again. Of course, they keep going back and forth between Labour and whatever. You know, they're just, what's the other party? There's more than one.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'm so old, I'm thinking Tories and Whigs.
Well,
But Labor's like the Whigs.
if he wore a wig, he
Yeah.
would be Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's right.
Anyway, awful man, and he should be taken out.
I
He
think
should
it's
be.
Labor and Tories. I think it's still Tories.
Is it Tories?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Anyway, Keir Starmer, bad man.
Yes, he is. And J.D. Vance was very right to call him out
Yes.
a long time ago, saying his country doesn't have free speech anymore. Then he's like, "Oh, bristling, we have a long tradition of free speech." Like, bull crap.
Well, no, you do have a history. History is what you're looking in
Yeah.
the mirror. You're looking in the mirror. It's past us now,
Way
or we're past it.
Yeah, it's gone. Unfortunately,
I
it's
see.
because they don't have a Second Amendment.
Well, right. Who
Yeah,
does?
so
us.
we do. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about us going into Iran. I'm going to guess that you're against it.
I'm against going into Iran.
You are.
Yeah, I would support the people in trying to revolt against the Ayatollah, but I don't think we need boots in the ground there.
What do you think? I mean, have you ever thought about what would it take to free up that country? I mean, this is not a territory that we want.
Right.
This is something that we have to support, that I believe. I mean, I've known lots of Iranians and lots of Iranian families, and they all pray for the day that the United States has the balls to go in and do something for the people. I mean, when you have an Ayatollah, they just have these guys who, on a religious basis, just walks into a crowd and starts shooting people close up.
Right.
They don't even take them, into prison
Just
necessarily.
like they did in Las Vegas
Yes. Well,
at that country western concert.
right. That we don't know about. I mean, we know about it,
We
but
know.
we certainly don't know
We don't
what
know
the facts are.
Don't know the real story.
No.
I don't think boots on the ground. I think support, logistics support, communication support, and strategic support for them. Don't pull the rug out from under them, because they were close to overturning the government under the first Trump administration, and then when Biden stole the election, they were completely left to get killed by the Ayatollah and his henchmen.
Yeah. Obama also, if you'll remember,
Yeah.
in an uprising, sent them blankets. Do you remember that?
Oh, was that the Iranians or Afghans?
No, that was, I believe it was the Iranians.
I thought the Afghans got rugged.
I think they are still pissed off that they got those. They still have those
Yeah,
blankets because they
probably.
were going, yeah,
I'm
that
surprised they weren't smallpox blankets.
asshole.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for the blanket.
Yeah, but we could send them material support, logistics support, things like that. But I don't think this is our fight necessarily. I mean, we're already in a proxy war with Russia over Ukraine, and at this point, I'm rooting for Putin, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Putin wanted to join NATO back in the day, and
But NATO was formed to keep him away. I mean,
Right.
to protect all the NATO nations from Russia.
but he wanted to be a legitimate
He just wanted to-
trading partner, and it would just think where we'd be now if we didn't have all that hanging over our heads, and we pushed
Okay,
him away.
what is it that we have hanging over our heads?
Well, now they're allied with China, and so we got these two huge nuclear superpowers who are against us, and he could have been on our side against China
Oh,
in
gosh.
trade,
And you would trust him to be on our side?
oh, much more so than the Chinese.
Well, but we're not even talking
much
about
more
that.
than Keir Starmer.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's a bad guy. I mean, he's personally probably
There's a lot of bad guys.
killed a
that-
bunch of people,
Right.
but I think he is moderately honest.
Really?
For a world leader, yeah. I think so. Yeah, they've been our allies in the past, in World War II, certainly. I mean, they bought us
Wow.
time with millions of casualties. They bought time for the
by
other.
creating millions of casualties. Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
They took millions of there's like 20 million Russians killed
Right.
in World War II, something like that. It was ridiculously high numbers.
But Stalin was responsible.
Oh, he was
for
terrible. He
just
was-
a terrible man.
All the purges and everything like that.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but the Russian people were our allies in World War II, and they could be allies again. I wouldn't trust them 100%.
I had not known until this morning, listening to our president speak at Davos, that Greenland had been taken over by the Nazis during World War II. Not taken over, but they were working on it, and they had landed there. And if it hadn't been for us going in and routing them out, the Nazis, the Germans, would today Greenland would have been in Germany. It would have been a German property.
Had they won, but
Well, that's what I'm saying. Today, if we didn't do those things, if we didn't make, and Trump was very quick to point out, we really did win World War II for you.
yes.
And they just don't get that.
And there were other presidents
They don't want to
who've been
admit
looking
that.
at Greenland. This isn't like a one-off. I mean, this is not the first time a U.S. president has been talking about, taking Greenland as one of our, I don't know, colony, territory, something like that. Kind of like we have Guam and a couple other places that are, what's the other one? Marshall Islands, maybe.
Okay.
American Samoa. There's a bunch of places like that that are not America. They're not a state, but they are under American control significantly, and they benefit from it greatly. I mean, there's a lot of things that we do there. There's a lot of tuna canneries on Samoa.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and the Samoans don't work in them. They have the Tongans do it because the Tongans are lower than them in their caste system.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, the company I worked for used to work for Starkist, and they did a bunch of work over there because they have a tuna canning facility on Samoa, American Samoa.
Interesting.
Yeah, all the Samoans were like the management, and the Tongans were on the line.
They owned the factory.
Yeah, they owned the
Right.
federal. No, it was Pelosi.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. Another reason not to touch tuna.
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, I'm Russell Palmer,
I'm Doug Kunkle.
and we should talk. We'll be back next week. But you know what? We'd love to hear from you. Get a hold of us. We want to talk about how we're going to include you in the show. We may put in a phone line. What do you think of that? I like it. I'm not doing a good job here. There, no,
Are we off?
no, I can't seem to find the switch, the off switch.
You can just do a mic drop.
Oh,
and walk.
it says start recording. So, there we go.